Let me bring in Hugh Johnson, though. He's an economist, a Bloomberg Best. He's the chairman and chief investment officer for Hugh Johnson Advisors. Has been the most accurate forecaster, according to Bloomberg, in the month of January. We named him that. Hugh, what do you make of this number, this ADP report? I know it's been very spotty in the past, but what do you make of it?
Well, I don't make a whole lot of it. It's obviously good news. It's a strong number. It might cause the so-called whisper number for Friday's payroll report to be a little bit higher than the current consensus. Current consensus being we added about 170 to 180,000 jobs in the month of February. So maybe people will be starting to whisper or talk about it being a higher number than that. I think the real question is something you've already hit on, and that's the government payroll number. Mm-hmm. That's not in this report, and that could be a big problem when we see the numbers on Friday. In other words, drag us down from the enthusiasm that the ADP payroll report might create.
Betty, I'm glad Hugh mentioned the whisper number, because a question I've been asking economists is, if you've got a bigger than expected number, and that's what we got this morning, are you going to revise up your numbers for Friday? For private jobs, they're already pretty high.
Yeah.
And the feeling is that you might just see the higher numbers floating around, the whisper number. But as for economists actually changing their expectations, that's another story. If you change your numbers the week of a piece of data like this, you run the risk of being wrong twice.
Yeah.
So that is why people might be cautious on that.
Well, Hugh, are you going to change your numbers?
No, I'm not going to change. My number is low. It's going to be wrong. My number was 130,000. It was driven largely by statistics. I know I'm going to be low. The ADP report sort of convinces me I'm low. It would probably be closer to 170,000, but I think everybody should keep in mind.
But Hugh, if you know you're wrong, why aren't you adjusting it?
Well, because it's not going to do any good. Who am I going to tell and who's going to listen? So the bottom line is, and I think everybody feels the same way, is forecasting employment numbers is hazardous at best. And so we're just simply going to have to wait. Yes, the ADP report is good. Yes, it'll cause the whisper number to be maybe a little higher than, say, 170 to 180,000. But frankly, everybody knows that it's very hazardous to forecast this number. Let's just wait till Friday's number comes out.
Well, Hugh, if that's the case, then how do people trade on Friday knowing that there are a lot of extraneous factors going into this February report?
Some folks want to take the risk. In other words, they believe the Friday number is going to be stronger than the consensus of 170 to 80,000, and they think that that'll create a positive impact on the market. They're willing to do that. That's fine. But the truth is that I think anybody that's really sober-minded knows that forecast of 170 to 180,000, with a whisper number a little bit stronger than that, is, that's more a guess than a forecast, quite frankly.
Okay.
And it takes a lot of risk in order to to trade just on the basis of your expectation that it'll be a good number or higher number than expected.
Hugh, thank you. I appreciate it. Hugh Johnson with Hugh Johnson Advisors, a Bloomberg Best, for his accurate forecast on the economy.